All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we have another podcast with Aaron. Aaron is another trader that has been in the community for not quite that long. He's already been able to successfully withdraw $15,000. So let's let him in. He's here in the waiting room. It's always exciting meeting people for the first time. Hello, hello.
My man,
What's going on?
how are you, brother?
How are you, man? Another day, another day. How's everything?
Everything's well on this side.
Appreciate
Nice
you.
to finally meet you.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate you taking time out of your Saturday to do this.
No, I appreciate you teaching me how to trade and making it all worth the while, man.
So talk to me, man. How's your journey been? How's trading been? How's everything been?
Trading's been good since you did the boot camp out here. So I
Hmm.
live out here in Vegas. I run a cannabis company out here. I've been following you for a couple of years. I got into trading 5 years ago. Did the YouTube shit, some success, some didn't. Then I bought a course from another trader on Instagram, Q,
Hmm.
and saw some success. Wasn't consistent. I'll have good months, have bad months, and then I realized my stops were too tight, and I was just, getting stopped out on bullshit ass trades. And then I found you, did the 100 to a mil boot camp. And once I saw the intraday technique and saw that, everything changed.
Oh yeah. I mean, so what would you say would be the biggest thing that led you to change your trading results? Was it structure? Was it stop loss placement? What was it?
Validating structure for sure. Understanding what a true higher low or lower high is and understanding like validation, the two candles definitely helped. Cause I would be like, oh, did it break? Did it not? And then honestly, bro, going back to like elementary school with your little snake trick.
Oh yeah.
That shit, I was watching it and I'm like, this is so fucking simple. It doesn't make any sense. But once just doing that and comprehending like a true high or low, everything changed. Stop loss for sure. Having the intraday and going H4 and giving myself the extra 20 pips outside those highs and lows, definitely helped.
And then so what's the amount of money that you've made? I think the team told me 15,000, right?
So in April, I made 33,000. I made like 29,000 last year. So I made 33K in April. I made 17 in May. And I caught pneumonia in June, but I still made like 12.5.
Bro, that's a good month, like
Not worried about it at all.
so in the morning, so you were sick all of June and you still made profits.
I was sick for like 3 weeks in June, yeah. And I still, honestly, I was just doing it for my phone. I hate trading from my phone, but
Hmm.
I was because I couldn't get out of bed. I was laying in bed for weeks and
Damn.
still worked out.
Well, I'm glad you feel better now, honestly. I hate being sick. It's probably like one of the worst things ever. So you said you run a cannabis business in Vegas?
I do.
How did running a business and learning how to trade affect your journey?
Being able to comprehend that this is a business and that you have to treat it as such. Like people see, especially someone like you that makes hundreds of thousands of dollars, they're like, oh, I could do this shit. It's nothing. I don't have to do nothing. But there's far more that goes into it than just looking at those charts. Being able to have a proper risk to reward, being able to not enter trades just to enter trades and having discipline to go with it. Without that, you're never gonna be successful with this shit. Like for instance, I mean I watched you guys on Instagram for years. I'm like, these motherfuckers making millions of dollars. That's nothing. I'll do that shit. Then you do it, you're like, well, there goes that account. So then, you get in the habit of thinking it's quick and easy money, but at the same time, like I can speak for myself, and I'm sure you have the same story. It took years to make money. So like, yeah, okay, I'm making $100,000, but I didn't learn how to do this overnight. I
Mhm.
put in time and fucking effort to get to this point.
Does where you operate your business kind of influence? Because, for example, right, like I'm used to businesses that, you show up every single day or work, right? You show up every single day and it's kind of like you give and receive, right? Like you give time into something and then you automatically get something back, right? That's somewhat how a business works, sometimes not really. But you're kind of used to opening the doors up, right, in the kind of business, and then you're getting customers, right? In the trading, you can just be sitting here for hours and nothing changes, right? Was that a difficulty for you or?
For sure. I mean, one thing that when I was taking Q's course that they says you got to be comfortable being bored.
Mm,
And, honestly, like if you're not comfortable sitting in silence and looking at the same shit repetitively, like if you don't put in the time, you're never going to reap the rewards. It's never going to just be handed to you as easy as people think it is. It's fucking boring,
mm.
but the rewards are far exceed the risk.
And I mean, you plan to keep the cannabis business going, I'd imagine, right? Or like because you're able to do both.
So my best friend is the owner of the company. I'm executive assistant, so I got a pretty good gig. I get to work with my best friend and we run a
Oh,
cannabis
that's good.
company. We're in 7 states. We're launching edibles into New Jersey. So we're all across the country. It's a pretty big company. But yeah, at the end of the day, like I could still balance both because I put years into this when I wasn't doing that. So now I can do this. Ultimately, I'm torn though. Like, do I want to continue working? And the
Yeah.
only reason the answer is yes is because it's my best friend. I get to kick it with my boys all day. Because I really don't even smoke like I used to. Like I just have a good time building a business that's successful with my boys. And then trading, bro, you have all the free time in the world. I mean, there's so much cool shit out there in the world. So I'm torn between to keep doing that or to just focus on this.
And in your trading, are you the only one out of your friend group that does trade?
Bro, I've tried to put everybody on. Yes, I'm the only one that trades. Everyone's like, oh, I need to do that shit. And I'm like, do it. There's nothing to it but to do it. Yeah, I'm the only one that trades. I do have one homie that I met right before COVID. We ended up getting an apartment together, trying to learn how to trade and do shit like that. I still talk to him about trading from time to time. Once I took your course and he saw my results every weekend on Sundays, he's like, hey, let's hop on and do a review. Basically, like, hey, do the markup so I could peep this shit. So, but I got one homie that's into it, not as much as he used to be, but still fucks with it. And then nobody, everyone's like, oh, I need to learn how to do it, but nobody actually wants to learn how to do it.
I mean, it takes time and dedication, like everything, right? But it's like a never-ending journey. How do you like the Sunday swings that we do every weekend?
It's great. I'm not gonna lie, some of them I'm like, I'm just like, I can't get on board with that one. Like, there's a couple that I'm like, yeah, I do it. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to be strictly reliant on you.
Yeah. So there's some Sunday swings that you don't show up to and some that you do.
I'll show up to 95% of them, but there's some trades that I'm like, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna wait this one out. But then it's cool when I mark up a trade and then hop on Sunday swings because I'll do mine like this afternoon, Saturday
Mhm.
afternoons. So it's dope when I do hop on and then I see you mark up the same shit. I'm like, okay, let's go. Those are the ones let's get
And
on board.
I like that. I feel like the experienced traders that have already been in the game for some time and are already like kind of like developing and just making this their normal, they tend to do that a lot. Before they got on the call with us on Sunday, they'll analyze their own markets and they use Sunday swings as a form of verification. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not like the ultimate sensei, right? Like, there'll be other markets out there that I'll miss or I personally won't like. And you guys identify and they look perfect, right? Just to me at that moment, I just didn't like it for whatever reason. And I miss trades out like that. More trades I miss more trades than the ones that I take. But I like that people do that because it just shows that you don't need me every single week to for you guys to have results. Like if I don't do Sunday swings now for a month, like you'll be good. You'll know how to analyze the markets. You'll be able to find your own markets. And would you say that just the strategy videos, just the actual community, like got you to that point and you showing up every single day that you wouldn't need me to be on those calls?
100 to a mil bootcamp videos. That's literally you can give that to anybody and they can figure out how to do it. Especially because like on the first week, bro, you took it to the absolute fucking like here's how a broker works. Here's what a broker does. So if you know nothing, you can figure this shit out.
The other bootcamp classes where things got more advanced, that's where you started to actually understand the strategy.
Honestly, like day 9 through 14 is when everything took off. Like the snake trick, the validating the highs and lows, and everything else.
Yeah, I feel like the beginning is boring if you're already an experienced trader because it's like, all right, like I already know how this shit works.
It's
But
necessary though.
yeah, like I feel like it's good for you to relearn things the proper or not the proper way. I feel like everybody has their own way of doing it. Like for you to learn it the proper way to apply the strategy, right? In order for you to apply it, you got to learn it this way. And I feel like I've simplified it to the point where probably anybody that has common sense and can read and write can learn it. I don't think it get any simpler than that.
For sure. Did you learn like your teaching experience just came from teaching trading?
Yeah, I've never taught before.
Okay, bro, you teach your level of being able to comprehend from the other side is incredible. Like if you were a student, you teach perfectly. So it's like, okay, that's what the fuck. Because there's so many times people teach me shit, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, like that's why I was like, was this for a teacher before or what? But no, it's dope. It's extremely beneficial.
Oh, like the way how I communicate the stuff, like it makes sense,
Bro,
right?
your analogies and shit like that. That's why I'm like, was this for a teacher before or what? Like some of
Uh,
the analogies, I got a buddy that does crazy ass analogies, but they work. So
I mean, I think the analogy is the perfect part for you to connect, like the surfing ones. We have some crazy wild ones in there that makes sense. People, people.
yeah,
So you were trading before. You've been trading for what was the total amount of time you've been trading?
5 years.
5 years. And now, very recently, thanks to the Center for Good Strategy, you're having some results. What do you estimate that you can close off the year at the rate that you're going right now?
Well, I remember at one point in time, you had said like 100K trader, you're gonna give him that chain. So my goal is to 2x that by the end of the year.
You want to get to 200,000. So you want this right here, basically, this, right? All
That's exactly what I'm trying to get.
right.
100%.
Okay, how much have you made so far? Have you made 30,000 in April? You made 20, so what? You're almost like at
I made
70?
70K this year so far.
Okay, sick. Congrats, bro. That's fucking insane,
Thank you.
dude. Like it's
It's insane.
how does it feel for you that
Shit
you're living
doesn't seem real, bro.
it
You
doesn't,
talk
right?
about like I go like I said last year I made $29,800. I worked 40 hours a week, so 2,000 hours to make less than what I made in probably 40 hours accumulatively this year.
It's crazy.
So one work week has doubled last year's entire fucking like when you put it in perspective like that.
What has changed in your life because of that?
What has changed because of how much I was able to make?
Yeah.
I get to do whatever the fuck I want. I have a fiance. I'm engaged. She has 4 kids. We can go to
Mhm.
Disneyland. We can fucking. We got a 2024 Escalade. Like we got nice shit. You know, like we don't come from money. She was used to work at Petco. I was working at a fucking cannabis business. So now she's about to work with me at the facility. But we can do whatever the hell we want.
You've been able to buy things, you've been able to live life, right? Like do whatever you want.
Anything. We've gone on vacation more times in the last 9 months than I have in the last 9 years.
Like I feel like that's when it actually becomes real. Like when you're able to actually like get the money out and go do stuff with it.
Even like if you take out $100, just so you know it's real. But yeah, once you take it out, like I went and opened up a business account just to see if there's a way to try and save any kind of money on taxes because I know at the end of the year they're gonna take every fucking penny that they can. So I
Mhm.
went and did that route. But yeah, once you get to like go and actually experience things, like the world is a big place and there's hella cool shit that people should be doing. So once you actually get to go see some of this stuff, like we went to New York, sat sideline, like a first base foul line at the Yankee game for my birthday. Like shit like that, like I've always dreamed of, you know?
That's sick. Bro, I like that you're doing that with your work, your hard work. Because a lot of people they try and get the money and they try and just like constantly scale it too aggressively and then they end up losing it because they're just chasing this never-ending goal of more and more and more and more money, right? Because it's the opportunity's there and now since you have more money, you want to leverage it so you can get this big check. But once you get that big check, then you want a bigger one and a bigger one. That's never ending. I like that you're kind of like withdrawing some of it and then you're enjoying it, coming back, kind of taking more of the nonchalant approach. And I feel like that is how you properly scale to then ultimately that big check, honestly.
100, you always gotta leave a little bit more than what you start. Like all of this started with 3 grand, the entire account. So I got all this. I started with 3,200 bucks, scaled it, and just pulled every week. You know, like every Friday, take something out, like do something. Even if like the biggest withdrawal I had, like taken personally, I took out 11 grand. I went and bought new appliances for the house, and I was like, oh, let's go to Disneyland. So take it out a little bit. You don't need to go crazy. Like it's great. People see like making 100,000, $200,000 a week. That's great. We'll get there, but like you ain't gonna do that with 3,500 bucks. So you gotta
Yeah.
get your two there to get that.
That's sick. So if you were to be talking to Aaron of 5 years ago, right? Let's say you were to have bumped into him. What would be one thing that you would tell him to completely change his trading journey for the better?
Damn good question. I would have honestly told him, don't focus on anything else. Like, I run the company now, but I was trying to do this and then trying to do all these little side projects. I would have said, look, you'll get there a lot faster if you just stay the course now. Like, it's there. The tools are there. Honestly, 5 years ago, I didn't know who you were. You don't know if you were trading and stuff like that. So honestly, the same resources weren't available 5 years ago. But if
Mhm.
you were able to just say, hey, stay the course, focus on this and hone in on this and nothing else, you'll get there quicker. Probably start with that.
I think 5 years ago, I think I was still living at my mom's house. Like I was trading, but I think I was still at my mom's house. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think there I had like officially 5 years ago is what, 2019? No,
Yeah.
2020. Yeah, 2020. I was definitely still at my mom's house and I was about to be profitable. Like I already had the center forget strategy, but I hadn't scaled on it just yet.
Okay. Did you develop this just from trial and error?
I learned from like four different people and I pieced a lot of things from what I learned from YouTube back in 2019, 2020. But the scaling in, like how I do the counter trend trades, the Sunday swings, the eliminating pairs, that's really on me, honestly. But like market structure and all that I've learned from other people.
When you do the counter trend trades, like what is like your thought process to say, okay, I'm gonna enter this? Because usually you're like, hey, run with the trend, but sometimes you're like, is it because you're on such a higher time frame that you're like, oh, I have to give some kind of retracement, so I'll take it? Or what?
Yeah, it's literally that. Since price has had such a strong push, like this next week, we're probably going to pass the G challenge with a counter trend trade because like prices have had such strong pushes for 2 weeks. Like it just needs a retracement. Even if it has a 20% retracement of the move, which is nowhere near the next area of interest. Things have to have the high. If this is the area of interest, I say it just makes it 20%. It'll be enough, right, for us to pass the challenge because of just risk to reward and we're fucking full porting that account. But I do it because I don't know, lately I've been anticipating more of the retracement than the push. Like price always has to have a retracement. Now, the big kind of difficulty with the counter trend trades is when is it going to stop? Right? Because the counter trend trades could have a quick retracement or it can just completely have a super deep retracement. When it has the retracement and then you're going to go buy with it, right? In the event that you're taking a counter trend trade as a sell. The buys is where things could get tricky, even though it's actually trading with the trend, because maybe that's not a valid area of interest. Maybe it can then have like a daily wick. Like all of these other little things go into play. And how the markets have been changing now because of Trump, I'm just seeing the counter trend trades a lot cleaner than the pro trend trades. Not saying I don't trade, I trade both, right? I'll take whatever. Yeah, the counter trend trades I've been liking a lot lately, just because they've been giving me great opportunities, honestly.
And you usually trade those kind of trend trades back down to like a previous structure point or just before that structure point?
A little bit before, a little bit, because it could have a reaction because it's supposed to have a reaction from there. So a little bit before, I try and get like 20, 30 pips above it.
Okay.
So back to Aaron and his journey. So now at the point that you are now, are you like still watching the videos or you learned it once and that's all you needed?
I watch this shit daily, bro.
Yeah.
I'll continuous rewatch it because it's just like honestly with TV, I put something on the background noise. With this, you're gonna learn something new every time that you didn't pick up on the first time. I can tell you right now that I've watched day 12 probably 40 times.
Day
Specific
12? What's day 12?
validation of highs and lows.
Okay, I'm looking at here right now. Okay. So you've seen that 40,000. Okay,
At
sick.
least. Like, bro, I have my iPad where I take notes on like one note. I have notebooks full of fucking notes and trading notes. And every time I'll write notes every single time. I tell my fiance every day, like I need 2 hours a day to just sit on my videos and take my notes. And I've probably taken the same notes, it needs minimum 2 candlesticks. I've probably taken that same note fucking 40 times, but I'll continuously take that note until it's just second nature.
And then what would be your biggest memory in trading, whether it be a win or a loss? Is there something that you were just like, holy shit? Is it like a highlight?
Honestly, it was probably in like December, right after we had finished the boot camp. I
Mhm.
took a sell on GU and I had done like the line chart, marked it up, and I put like a higher low. I was going for a sell for a lower low for like 190 pips. I usually try to catch 20 to 30. I hit that 190 pips in like an hour and a half. It was fucking nuts. I was like, holy shit. I was like, this shit's real. I was like, okay, this is the move. Because I every day I would wake up at 5 a.m., try and catch 20 pips. That's my target. Well, then I put 20 and I'm doing a 10 pip stop. Well, my stops are way too tight. I'm getting stopped out by 11. So when I found this and my stops are 70 pips and my take profits are 140, I'm like, this is way better. And that's why I hit that GU. It's like 190 pips with like a 60 pip stop. And it was quick. Market open in London and just boom. I was like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, I don't really understand people that have trading strategies that they have a fixed stop loss. Like if that's like a real thing, Like that doesn't really make sense to me. You have to put a stop loss based off of structure, right? Because like pips aren't anything in the market, right? Market's going to move however it's going to move. And if it's going to respect something, it's going to respect structure, support, and resistance. It's not going to respect like your pip count. Pip count isn't like a real
At
thing.
all.
It doesn't really exist. So I understand like that's more of like a scalping way to do it, and you're kind of just catching like an impulse move. But personally, to me, I've tried it. It just doesn't make any sense having a fixed amount.
And you're literally just trying to catch the perfect entry. And it's like the perfect entry doesn't exist.
Yeah. The majority of my trades go into drawdown for a couple hours and then go into profit. It's like the craziest thing. Actually go into profit.
Yeah, when you see it go straight blue, you're like, oh, this is great. But then it goes red, you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah. What would be one of the biggest things right now in your trading that would you say that you've mastered with the seven figure strategy?
That fucking stop losses. Giving myself a structure point and then adding 25 pips to that. I don't think that I've gotten wicked out since I started doing this.
You give it 25 pips from the high.
I know that you had said like 15. I always had 25 pips from wherever the last structure point is, and I have not been wicked out yet.
Oh wow. Okay. So you're adding, okay, I'm gonna talk about that on Sunday Swings too. When I talked to Aaron and Aaron said, yo, fuck the like that's good. Because usually like the 5 to 10 pips is enough so you have a decent risk to reward, but you're still prone to the wick out. At the 25 pips, you're not getting wicked out.
I have not been wicked out once, and I'm still achieving at least 2 to 1.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, with the smaller, with the 5 to 10 pips, I mean, I'm aiming for like a 1 to 3, 1 to 4, but I'd rather not get wicked out and get a 1 to 2, honestly. Like your win rate is going to be so much higher.
I've gotten like 1 to 3s and 1 to 4s for sure since doing it, but like the 1 to 2, I have not been wicked out. Like for instance, on AUD CAD this week, I had a 25 pip stop. Like my area was like 7 pips and a 50 pip take profit. I mean, I closed it at the end of the week at 44 pips, but I mean, it's just a slower moving pair. But I have not seen a wick me out since adding 25 pips to the zones.
I'm gonna mention that on Sunday swings. I like that. I think this is cool seeing different people's perspective on trading once they learn the strategy because you can kind of adapt to it however you feel most comfortable, right? Like some people, for example, you don't like the counter trend trades, or some of the pairs that I analyze on Sunday swings don't make sense, but you're able to understand exactly what you're entering. And I feel like that's the beauty of the strategy, that you know exactly what you're going to enter. If it's a high risk trade, low risk trade, you can decide to take the trade if you want or don't, but you know exactly what you're getting involved to, which I think is the beauty of it.
Yeah, it sucks when you fucking lose a trade, but it is part
Yeah.
of the game.
Losing a trade, does that still affect you, or do you normalize it or nonchalant about it?
What's that?
Like whenever you lose a trade, do you are you just brush it
Nah, it's
off?
part of the game.
You brush it off, right?
Before I'm like, fuck, nah, it is what it is, and we'll get them on the next one. Honestly, when I first went live, so I was doing a prop challenge, and then with the company, I had a 100K account, and then I was like a day away from getting paid out. They hit me with some bullshit rule, closed my account. So I sent them a text like, "You guys are fucking scammers, fuck you," and I finished it with "Your mom's a hoe," and then I got completely blackballed. So I was like, fuck that, I'm going live. And that was the 3,200 bucks I took on the live account and scaled it to what it is. So it worked out. But those prop firms teach you like rules that you didn't know existed. So it teaches you pretty good on like discipline, I would say. So you lose a trade on that, you're stressing the fuck out. It just teaches you, hey, it's part of the game. You got to get it back on the next one. And if your R to R is correct, you get it back on the next trade, literally.
Literally on the next trade. I think prop firms are cool for you to understand how to follow rules when it kind of like keeps you in check when nobody else is watching. But it does suck because they're not the type of rules that you should be following to scale an account, right? Like,
It was bro, it was the dumbest rule I've ever heard. Like, I'll never use this rule in my life. And they're like, oh, I was like, it's not in the contract, it's not anywhere. They're like, it's on the website. I'm like, okay, got it.
what was the rule?
So on the prop firm, you can't exceed 5% on a daily drawdown. Well, I didn't. So I entered the same trade again an hour later when it got to the area of interest. Well, if you take the same pair back to back, you can't exceed 2% drawdown because it's the same pair. So I fucking lost the account a day away from payout because I traded GJ back to back and exceeded 2%.
Oh, that's weird. I understand the max daily drawdown in equity or whatever. I get that, but I don't get. That's why I like personal. Personal, you could basically do whatever you want. You're comfortable with it, and you don't have to follow any rules, right? You kind of just risk management is really the only thing you need.
At all. You
So
just do what you want.
yeah. So Aaron from Cannabis, how old are you?
I'm 30. I'll be 35 in November.
How did you almost forget your age, bro?
Bro, age is just a number. You never get old until you actually start to get old.
I sometimes think my age, I'm like, I feel like I'm not young anymore. I'm already getting on that old side. I'm already feeling old as shit.
Old is just a mindset.
I agree. You know what?
Disneyland with my fiance next month for our anniversary. So I'm like, bro, I'm 34 years old going to Disneyland. It's fine.
Yeah, that's sick. So you had a interesting journey, right? 5 years of trading, and then finally you're seeing the light. Oh, I mean, you're definitely having results. You're having good process of executing the strategy and having results from it. You've had withdrawals, you've had losses, you've had unique experiences from it. What would you say to like a last piece of advice to a trader in your position, having a business or being busy, time zones? Like, what would be one thing that you would tell them that can completely change their journey completely?
Treat it like a business.
What does that
And
mean? What does that mean?
it's, huh?
Like deep dive into that. What does that mean? Treat it like a business. I know what it means, but
Nothing comes easy. Like treat it like a business because like if you start a company, at the end of the day, the goal is to make profit. Well, you're gonna have customers, you're gonna have profits and loss accounts, you're gonna have P&L statements, you're gonna have all these different variables that go into it. There's a lot of work that goes into it. When I say treat trading like a business, understand that you should be logging your trades, you should be keeping track, you should be putting in the time to mark up your charts. Like before, a lot of people get into this, they'll spend 20 minutes looking at charts. Okay, I'm looking for a sell. Bro, it takes me 3.5 hours to mark up my charts every Saturday. Like That's somebody who's been doing it for 6 months now. I'm sure you can get it down as you scale, but like you got to put in the work. If you're not willing to put in the work and put in the time, this shit ain't gonna be handed to you. Like the amount of money that you can make is what people spend a lifetime working for. And if you're not willing to put in a lifetime worth of work, you're never gonna achieve those results.
I like that. That was that last part there was good. So treat it like a business, normalize the ups and downs of it. And what would be like a perfect analogy that you can get to
Shit, you're the analogy guy, bro. Uh,
that?
a perfect analogy. I'm fucking terrible with analogies.
I have a shit ton, but I like saving them, bro. I sometimes write them down too. 'Cause yeah, like they come to me random. I just put them like on a sticky note here on the side, and I remember to say it.
Yeah, I'm not one to come up with analogies. I'm just like, I don't know if I could give you an analogy, but I know that if you're willing to put in the work, the results are worth it. Like I said, I've watched your videos 40 times. The same, first of all, I watched the entire course, all 30 whatever videos, but I'll still watch them every single day until like Picasso didn't learn how to paint the Mona Lisa in a day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that motherfucker painted for a long time.
All right, see, now we're talking. See, that's the
There you
analogy
go.
we're talking
That's
about.
what I got for you.
So, if you were to basically summarize your trading journey in one word, what would it be?
Grind.
Get the fucking
Just
work.
you see all these people making hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're like, I can do that, but at the same time, like they put in the work to get there. They grinded it out to figure this shit out. They didn't just get handed an account with $100,000 in it.
Fire. Aaron, thank you very much for your time, bro. I think this was
Appreciate it, man.
great.
Nice meeting you,
Of
and
course.
I'll definitely be coming for that chain though.
All right, pull up, bro. It'll be here. And when I'm in Vegas, bro, I'll see if I pull up. I usually go to the Red Rock whenever I'm out there.
Oh, bro, I live right down the street from the Red Rock.
Yeah?
I live down the street from the Red Rock. I was born and raised here. I got a company. If you ever want to check out the facilities, see a cultivation facility, see what it looks like, bro, please do.
Oh shit. So, how big is it?
42,000 square feet.
Okay,
We're right
sick.
across the street from the airport.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're not that far from Red Rock. Like 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Work is right across the street from the airport, and I live 7 minutes from the Red Rock. So
Oh,
definitely let me know when you're in Vegas, bro.
for sure. Aaron, thank you very much, brother.
Of course,
Appreciate
man.
your
Very nice
time.
meeting you. Thank you again.
See you, brother. Take care.
Take care.